Chapter 8. "I don't know where he is," Rachael said. "Care to elaborate?" The man in the white suit said. My brother, I've lost him entirely." "That warlock you're babysitting to make sure he doesn't do anything? You know, you could do so much more with your life, Rachael. Nobody cares about him but you." The two were in a busy office building. People all around them were constantly moving about, performing tasks, shuffling papers, and every one of them wore a look of anxiety. Rachael and the man in the white suit were standing out of everyone's way. The man was looking at his phone as he spoke. Rachael was giving him her full attention. "Lazier, he's my brother and the only family I have." Lazier shrugged. "Listen, something is terribly wrong. My magic has always been able to find him. I have no idea where he is now." Lazier looked up from his phone, glared, and put it in his pocket. "Rachael, do you know what is going on right now? Do you see how busy everyone is?" Lazier swept his hand through the air, pointing out the people around. "They're always this busy." "True. But right now, we've discovered something. Do not know what exactly, but we do know that they are up to something." They're always up to something. They're evil." He shook his head. "Listen, girl, you are one of a few people that have an actual clue as to what I am talking about." Lazier looked her dead in the eyes with a serious glance. Rachael avoided direct eye contact with this man. When one looked into his eyes, they saw the stars themselves. Galaxies spun deep in his pupils. An endless array of cosmic wonder spanned in those ocular orbs. Lazier was known to seize control of anyone that looked into his eyes. Rachael did not feel him using his celestial power on her when she looked into his eyes. "We found you after the last ritual they did 12 years ago. We've done our best to prevent another. Supposedly, the one they are trying to do now is far bigger, and if they succeed, will grant them so much power that it will tip the scales in their favor." "Found me? You mean when I was a child?" She said more than asked, and realized the full gravity of what Lazier was talking about. "Oh, you finally understand now, huh? And all you are worried about is your worthless brother." I apologize, sir, but what if time has something to do with it? What if that's the reason I can't locate him?" Lazier pulled out his phone again. He waved Rachael away. "Don't be ridiculous, girl. There is nothing they can do with him. No, the ritual they are probably going to do involves their highest members. The elder warlocks are no doubt gathering, or already gathered, and whatever dark deeds they are up to, or are already happening." Rachael walked away, aggravated more with herself than for losing time than with the harsh words of Lazier. She bumped into another man. I'm sorry." The man smiled. "Not to worry, Rachael. I overheard you and the half-angel talking. Don't let him get to you." I'm not. I just need to find my brother. Joe, are you busy?" Joe almost laughed through tired eyes that have not slept in what appeared to be ages. The man was probably incapable of humor. "Everyone's busy. What do you need?" Help me locate Thyme." Joe sighed. I could, Rachael, but the warlocks are up to something. If I join you in finding him, and I'm not here helping our people, some of us could die or worse." Rachael shook her head. He has to have something to do with it. I just know it." "Just use a tracking spell." I did. I always have a tracking spell on him. He is cloaked or something." Joe half frowned. "You must be doing something wrong. Here, let me try. Do you have something of his?" Sparks lit up in Rachael's eyes. I'm his twin. I am something of his." At that, Joe laughed as his arm stretched behind his back, embarrassed. "All right, sorry. Joe placed his other hand on top of Rachel's head. Magic left his fingers and seeped into her hair, then returned back to him. He placed his hand on his forehead. After a moment of concentration, he opened his eyes. You are right. I cannot find him. See? It is like some kind of fog is over him, making him impossible to locate. It is the same kind of fog that elder warlocks use, except this is more powerful. See, I'm right. We need to find him now. A buzz sound was heard from the PA system, about to make an announcement. Everyone listen up. We have a lead on where to go. All of those willing and able, please report to Half-Angel Lazier for immediate transportation to Guatemala. Joe started to step away, meaning to go to Lazier and join the others. Rachel grabbed him by the arm, stopping him. No! He looked back to her, puzzled. That isn't right. We have to find my brother. I doubt it's in Guatemala. You mean you are sending us on a wild goose chase? Yes, but not being able to locate Thyme will not convince them. You have to come with me. Please, I need your help. Joe hesitated for a moment. He has always followed orders and done his part with excellence. If he went, he could join the fight and stamp out evil ones here and now. But if Rachel was right, then... Please, you are the only one that will listen. Joe relaxed, indicating he wasn't going anywhere. All right, where do we go and what do we do? We don't have much time. We go to where I lost track of him, his apartment. Thyme felt disoriented. Vertigo seized hold of him, even though he was not above ground level. Darkness swirled in the light. Shapes and figures were impossible to make out. He stumbled in this strange, frightening place. Someone grabbed his shoulder, stabilizing him. Relax, Thyme, said Rachael in a soothing voice. As things slowly came into focus, the shapes solidified, and all of his surroundings were beginning to make sense. What is he doing here? Someone sharply said to Rachael. Two problems with that question. Number one, you are questioning me. Number two, you question me like that again, and I will store your soul in toilet for a few decades. The person, whoever they were, quickly backed away in silence, regretting having even spoken to Rachael. Thyme looked up to Rachael, his face fully formed. He smiled at Thyme, a friendly, welcoming smile. My boy, you are about to witness something great. Follow me. They walked through an office building filled with ordinary humans performing ordinary desk job tasks. None of them paid any mind to these two as they casually walked through. Thyme could not tell if they were too busy to notice them or if some kind of magic cloaked their presence. He was too scared of Rachael to ask such a question. They passed through several rooms, finally reaching an ordinary elevator. Ah, this will take us down to a subterranean lair where some dark horrors exist. Rachael glanced at Thyme without a word. He chuckled and said nothing more. They walked in. He pushed the button for the top floor. At this, Thyme winced in confusion. You see, my boy, Rachael began as the elevator moved up. We have been at this for a long time. Throughout the ages, we have tortured countless souls. Always doing this in dark places, hidden places, abandoned places, and other such drab places. When you become one of us, 12 years ago, it made us stop to think of a better way to charge our magic. Hiding in plain sight almost works. Those fairies can see through any stealth magic we might employ. We can hide from them all the same. Then there is the problem of humans. Yes, humans. Regular, ordinary, everyday jack-offs. These guys are usually easy to deal with, but they can undo us under the right conditions. So we have developed this facility. We are the major shareholders for a company that owns a subsidiary side business that has a few employees and has stock in an offshore facility that is part owner of a merged store that takes part in a minor delivery company. What? Confusing, isn't it? It's supposed to be. We had to make sure that our connection with this place was so untraceable that neither the humans nor the fairies could stumble upon it by even an accident. You see, Thyme, you were half correct in assuming that this place is underground. The elevator stopped and the doors opened. They were on the top floor, where there was only a janitor mopping the floor wearing headphones as he cleaned. He too paid them no mind. Rachael, with Thyme following, walked to the other side of the room where another elevator stood. Rachael pushed the calling button. No magic so far. Magic can be seen by our kind if they are willing to expend the magic. So the entrance to this place has to be mundane. The doors opened and they walked in. Pushing the bottom floor button, the doors closed. The elevator moved down. Did you notice how the address is not 666 or that the 13th floor had no significance? You see how no silly clues of evil are lingering about? We have had warlocks that thought they were clever by dropping such subtle hints. I made sure to kill every last one of them myself. Secrecy is important, and I will kill anyone that reveals our location. He looked at Thyme, dropping his smile, almost glaring, to extend his point. Rachael pushed the stop button on the elevator when the device was one floor from reaching the bottom. He physically opened the door, revealing a space just large enough for one person to fit through at a time. He walked through first. It was dark. Just as Thyme exited the elevator, the doors automatically closed, and he heard the hum of the thing as he continued to move without the occupants. They trekked down a lightless incline. Thyme pulled out his stolen phone to use as a light source. He saw there were several missed calls and messages from his sister. Before he could click on them, Rachael snatched his phone from him. A breaking sound was all that could be heard. Raziel's bright red eyes were the only thing that were seen, and they were felt down to Thyme's soul as a burning sensation across his very being. Are you insane or just stupid, boy? Make another careless mistake like that, and I will put your soul in my own personal toilet for the next 100 years, and let me tell you, my bowel movements are horrendous. The red eyes turned around, leaving nothing to see once again. He heard Raziel's footsteps and followed the sound. We are almost there. I will not reveal the final step on entering this place. Thyme felt his body rush in an indiscernible direction. He blinked. He leaned against a structure to keep his balance. Brave lad, I myself would not dare to touch one of those, Rachael remarked. Thyme looked up as his eyes came into focus. A large, metallic bull head stared down at him. Thyme jumped back. Looking at the thing revealed a large metal minotaur. He breathed a sigh of relief. It's a statue. You startled me. It is a golem, boy. It is commanded to kill any intruder. Now stop wasting time. I want to show you around. They walked, proceeding through a long hallway lined with doors. Each door was different, had a different sigil inscribed on it. At the end of the hallway, it forked. Before the fork, however, was a receptionist's desk. Sitting there was a man whose face lit up with excitement at the sight of Rachael. Sir, welcome back. You have brought with us another talented warlock, I see. Rachael scoffed. Talented? No. Even an acolyte has more talent in their turds than this one. I must apologize, sir. I mean not to question you, but did you bring a human here as a guest and not a... He failed to find the desired word. You mean not to question me? You should try harder at that. Rachael walked to the right fork, beckoning for Thyme to follow. The receptionist dropped their smile, giving Thyme a most foul look, squinting their eyes, examining him in detail, even going so far as to scan him with a spell. They walked through another hallway lined with rooms, each having a different sigil or even sigils inscribed. Raziel talked to himself. Where to go first? Where to go? So much to show. He turned to Thyme. I am going to show you what we are doing here. We will start here. It is as good a place as any. He stopped in front of a door with a sigil that resembled the two-letter L's. One normal, the other upside down, facing towards one another. Raziel opened the door. With the door open, the sounds from inside were made apparent, and Thyme could only guess as to what sort of magic was used to hide these hideous screams of agony. A naked man lay on top of a flat, raised surface, his hands and feet bound. His body was covered in his own blood. Cut across his body, just along non-essential arteries, were gashes, barely missing deadly points. His fingers had bamboo shoved inside of them. A nail had been driven into his penis, as well as two others for his testicles. His eyes were sewn shut. A nearby table had surgical tools. Blood was splattered on the small table. A bowl stained with blood contained the man's teeth. Thyme averted his eyes from the ghastly sight. Lord Raziel, you honor me with your presence, said a man that Thyme noticed. I am showing time here around the place. Please continue. Do not let me slow down your work. Time? Why him? Sir, you waste your time with this one. Not that I'm questioning or judging your superior intellect. Raziel turned to Thyme. This one knows me too well. The warlock turned their attention back to the victim on the slab. They picked a scalpel, then continued their horrid work. It was at this moment that Thyme noticed a half-red crystal dangling from the ceiling about this tortured man. The redness within was akin to liquid, but it was a solid. As the man screamed, the red portion slightly grew, filling the clear portion. Ah, you have noticed the soul stone above, I see. Here I thought you would be too distracted by his work. Yes, you see, the crystal is the reason we are here. Come, I will show you the next one. They left the room. The door shut on its own. The man's screams were once again muffled. The next door has a sigil shaped like an eye with a triangle inside. Raziel opened the door. The room was dimly lit by ambient red lighting, like a film developing room. There was a table with a warlock sitting on it, drinking a can of soda. He stared at the back wall, which was made of glass. Inside the adjacent room, there sat a man wearing a straitjacket. His room was a padded room. Without looking at the two that entered, the warlock spoke to them. Ah, come to check on my progress, I see. Raziel sat next to him and waved his hand for Thyme to sit down too. The warlock continued to stare at the glass wall, looking at the man drooling motionless. This boy must be important if you have him here. Everyone has their place and usefulness. How goes your project here? He sipped from his can. Slower than expected. There is progress, though. He pointed to the crystal dangling from the ceiling. It was a third filled. Right. Now I have him pumped full of fake sedatives. It makes him outwardly appear sedated, but on the inside, he is fully aware. He cannot move or speak. He cannot even control his blinking. You have always been a talented chemist, Raziel said. Thank you. It's a new drug. I'm thinking about calling it sleep paralysis. Is your goal to solely make him feel helpless? No, sir. This man believes he is in a mental hospital. He questions his very sanity. Plus, on occasion, I have a guard come in to screw around with him. This gives an added fear bonus. Not bad. Raziel turned to Thyme. You see, there are more ways to charge your magic beyond causing physical pain, while hurting people is the simplest and easiest way to do it. I have an appreciation for those that get creative. Raziel stood up. Thyme followed. They left the room. They walked down the corridor. Raziel pointed at one room. In there is a warlock that continuously rapes some woman. It gets boring. Would rather not waste my time. He pointed at another door. In there are men getting raped. A bit more interesting, but still boring. Over here we have someone being injected with experimental diseases. Wanna see that one? Thyme shook his head. Pity. And no surprise. They walked past another door. That one has children being told their parents are dead. Silly, I know, but the look on their faces is priceless. After they can get no longer be tortured by those words, we actually kill one of their parents in front of them. We then take them to another warlock that physically tortures them until they become too numb to get any magic out of, to which we then kill them and feed the remains to the other parent. Thyme stopped walking. He clutched his stomach and proceeded to vomit. Boy, you will need to carry some kind of bag around with you because you have seen nothing yet. A warlock walked past them, carefully holding a solid red crystal. He sneered at Thyme. Worst warlock ever. Raziel's face lit up. Ah, filled one. All right, boy, we will give this portion of the tour a break. Follow him. They walked to the end of the corridor, where another identical golem stood guard. The guard gave them no mind as they walked in. Thyme stared at it as he passed. The room they entered was a vast auditorium. The seats were currently empty. 4 golems occupied the center, each facing a different direction and standing over 50 feet apart from one another. They guarded a large, oblong, transparent crystal with a diameter no less than about 20 feet. This crystal was 3/4 full. The warlock, with the filled crystal in hand, approached the massive thing. He held it up, and the magic drained from the small one into the large one. Next to him, there was a small table with a ledger. Words magically inscribed themselves onto the paper as the warlock finished his process. The ledger read as follows: 750,141. Added. Date, time, amount. Date taken, time, amount. So the ledger went on, naming various dates and times. It went down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 full added categories, but in the taken category was only one singular entry. We nickname it the Devil's Hand. It has no real name. It is a meteorite, if you can believe it. Raziel gave Thyme a sly look. This has been here in this world as long as life has existed here. Our gods put it here. It took millions of years to get to Earth. Anyways, the warlock that took that one magic charge, he's dead now. Killed him myself. If you have to take magic from this source, I do not care what your reason is, you had better get my personal approval. Raziel? Thyme asked. May I ask a question? Raziel's eyes flashed red. He cast some kind of spell. The reason this exists is to have a vast storage of magic. Feeling uncomfortable at having his thoughts read, Thyme averted his eyes. I mean, I get that, but... Raziel sighed. Oh, we do have plans, none of which should concern you. Come on, I want to show you your room. My room? They entered a room that had a small bed, closet, a private bathroom, and an empty shelf. This will be your room, Raziel said. Wait, I have to live here? I have to be part of this? I cannot and will not force you to be part of this, boy. Part of charging our magic, our kind of magic, as you know, is intention. Granted, it is the tiniest, most insignificant part, but our magic cannot work if you do not want to do this. So if you truly want nothing to do with this place, I will take you out of here and return you to your pathetic little life. So you wouldn't kill me or torture me if I decline? Raziel frowned. No, nor would I make an example out of you. This is one thing you have to choose on your own, but boy, think. Raziel put his arm around Thyme's neck. His other hand stretched out. Of the advances you could make here. Come, I have so much more to show you. More torture chambers? No. Time to show you some of the perks. They entered a different room. A room filled with naked women, large TVs, luxurious scenery, and servants waiting hand and foot for any order. Are you hungry? You did recently empty your stomach. The half-demon turned to one of the servants. Make a pizza. He turned back to Thyme. His eye flashed red again as he read his mind. He then turned back to the servant. Pepperoni, banana peppers, and bacon. Why not just magic a pizza into existence? Why would I waste magic? Raziel said dismissively. This is one of our top warlocks' room. We give him whatever he wants. He charges magic faster than anyone. I'm quite proud of Kamal al-Hashmi. And more magic you charge, the more perks you will earn. His eyes metaphorically lit up with excitement. Think, boy. Anything you want. No more drab apartment filled with vermin. No more scraping for rent. Anything you want will be brought to you. Well, not at first. You gotta give to get. But after you have provided us with, say, 5 full charges of magic, you can have your first servant. Thyme shuffled his feet, not knowing how to respond. All right, servants are not your fancy. You seem fond of computers. You can have the best. That is just for starters. I would have lived here and never get to leave. Raziel held a perpetual smile. Why would you want to leave? I don't know. See my sister, I guess. There was no shift with his smile. Raziel suddenly glared, turning angry at the prospect. His eyes brightened momentarily. Then he forced himself to calm down. Sentiment is not really our style. Plus, she's one of the fairies. The two of you are enemies. You know that, right? She can't hurt me even if she wanted to. I don't think any of them can. Raziel wore a doubtful expression. That is not something you should brag about. It means you have little to no value to me, and us in general. It makes me question if I even want you here. I'm sorry. Tell me, Thyme, what sort of things would you do to charge your magic for us here? I love creativity. I could log into social media and delete people's profile. That would certainly ruin their day. Raziel laughed. Oh, you have the best sense of humor. No, really, what would you do? I could perform identity theft and seriously ruin people's credit score. Raziel face-palmed. He appeared more frustrated with himself than with Thyme. I can tell you what. going to take you home. I will allow you to really consider my offer. Take your time, figure out your way of really getting magic. I will check up on you in a week. I will make the same offer. If you still have nothing, then you can just continue to live your empty, poor, pathetic life with those rats and roaches. I will not make the offer a third time. Thyme didn't know what to say. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm going to erase your memory of getting here and how to get here. Rachael placed his hand on Thyme's face. Everything went black. End of chapter 8.